Hi everybody, today's topic is multiplying powers and powers of powers. Before we begin, make sure you remember that you do not need to write down everything in this video, but be sure to jot down important information and at least one example of each type of problem we cover. Not just one example total, but every type of problem that we cover you should have down an example of how to solve it. Remember that you can also pause the video to jot down important notes, rewind the video to view information again, and fast forward if you think you got it. Just be careful and be sure you don't miss out on anything important when you fast forward. So let's start with multiplying powers. What do we mean by multiplying powers? We mean that we're taking two exponents, so numbers with a base and a power, and the bases are the same mostly, and we're multiplying them together. So in this case, it's 3 to the 8th power times 3 to the 4th power. Notice that we can use the dot to stand for multiplication. So instead of the x, we're using the dot here for multiplication. So in order to solve 3 to the 8th power times 3 to the 4th power, what we would need to do is we would expand it. So I've color-coded 3 to the 8th power with red and 3 to the 4th power in blue so that you can see it. 3 to the 8th power means 1 times 3, 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have 3 to the 4th power, which is 1 times 3, 4 times. 1 times 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. In order to figure out this answer, we would need to figure out how many 3's we have now. So in total now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 3 is being multiplied by itself 12 times. So this answer right here is 3 to the 12th power. That's how we multiply powers. We didn't give you the final answer, we just gave you the exponent answer. You should probably be thinking to yourself what a shortcut would be, because writing all this out and counting it at the end is not really a sustainable method, right? If you were to do that every single time and you had big exponents, powers, your hand would probably be really tired and you would probably be scared of losing track of count. So start thinking to yourself what that shortcut would be. Here's another example. We have negative 2 to the 3rd power times negative 2 to the 2nd power. Here, the negative and the 2 are together in the parentheses, so we're going to make sure that they follow each other. The 3rd power is in red, the 2nd power is in blue. So we have 1 times negative 2, 1, 2, 3 times, and 1 times negative 2, 1, 2 times. So in total, we have 1 times negative 2 multiplied by itself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. That's how we arrive at our answer. Oh, this is the wrong number here. Negative 2 to the 5th power, because there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of those negative 2's. You should probably have figured out what the pattern is here, the shortcut. Instead of expanding them all out and counting them, remember that when you count on your fingers, you're really adding, right? So the shortcut is addition. When you multiply exponents with the same base, all you have to do is keep the base the same in your answer, and then add the powers that you had. So in this case, they both had negative 2 for their bases, so negative 2 was in the answer, and then we just added 3 plus 2, which was 5. Just make sure that you added them correctly and not accidentally multiply like I did. I did 3 times 2, which was 6, and then I was off. Same thing up here. We had the same bases, 3 and 3, and then that made it into our answer because you only have 3's when you expand. And your power was 8 plus 4, which is 12, because at the end we were just combining the 8 3's here with the 4 3's over there. So your shortcut is just to copy down the base number and add the powers. That's multiplying powers. A very easy shortcut once you actually understand what it is that you're doing. Go ahead and pause the video if you feel like you need to jot this down before moving on. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you do that. Alright, now powers of powers. It sounds and looks very intimidating because normally we just have one power. Now you have two powers and you also have parentheses. It can look kind of scary. So for 3 to the 4th power cubed, we have a group of 4 3s repeated 3 times. So I've color-coded it here. This is my first group of 4 3s in red. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here's my second group of 4 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4. And my last group of 4 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my 3 to the 4th power is occurring 3 times. 3 to the 4th power times 3 to the 4th power times 3 to the 4th power 3 times. That's a whole lot of 3s. In total, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there are 12 total. Or, if you figured it out, the shortcut, it's 4 3 times. So you can count by multiples of 4. 4, 8, 12. Keyword multiples. Here's another example. See if you can figure out the shortcut or if your shortcut works. We have a -3 So in this next example, we have -3 squared, and that is to the 5th power. So -3 squared to the 5th power. So we have a group of 2 -3s times another group of 2 -3s, another group of 2 -3s, another group of 2 -3s, and another group of 2 -3s. They're occurring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. You probably noticed that I put the negative and the 3 together because they're actually in that same parentheses. So in this case, the parentheses on the outside indicates that the negative and the 3 go together. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The answer is -3 to the 10th power, or counting by 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So multiples of 2. Therefore, the shortcut is that we are multiplying. When you have, when you raise an exponent with a power to another power on the outside, you keep the base number and you just multiply the powers. So in this case, it was 4 times 3, which was 12, and 2 times 5, which was 10. So pretty scary looking problems, but very easy shortcuts to follow to make your lives easier. Here's an example of a multiply powers problem on Khan Academy. In this problem, it's asking you to solve for x. They're telling you 7 to the 8th power equals 7 to the 8th power times 7 to the x power. What is the x equal to? Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can solve it on your own. Alright, so we have 7 to the 8th power equals 7 to the 8th power times 7 to the x power. Okay, these are multiplying powers. So remember, when they're being multiplied, you're really adding these powers together. So we want to know, what does 8 have to add to? What does 8 add to get to 8? Well, 8 has to add 0 to get to 8. So this one should be 0. Okay, that one looked kind of tricky. Remember, with our multiplying powers rule, these two are added together to get the final answer. We already have 8, so we just have to add 0 to make it equal to 8. Let's try this one over here. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can try it on your own. In this problem, you have to simplify. So rewrite the expression in the form 2 to the n power. So you're not going to give a one number answer. You want 2 to the something power. Here we have 2 to the third power times 2 to the seventh power. We already know from our shortcut that there's going to be 3 2's and then 7 2's. Instead of counting them all up, we can just add them together. In total, there's going to be 10 2's, 2 to the 10th power. So you're going to want to choose this option here so that you can write 2 to the 10th power as your answer. Okay? Multiplying powers means instead of adding them all together, after expanding, you can just add up the powers and get to your answer quicker. Let's now try powers of powers. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can solve this one on your own first. All right, in this problem, they want you to again write the expression in the form b to the n power. We have b to the third power raised to the second power. So remember, that's two groups of 3 b's. 3 b's. 2 of those groups. We can add all those together by counting, or the shortcut would be to multiply. 3 times 2 would be b to the 6th power. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of those b's. B to the 6th power. Oops. B is on the bottom. And then 6 is that little number on top. Let me erase that B. So it could be kind of confusing getting those 2 rules down, those 2 little shortcuts down. But just remember to practice. If you have to, you can always write it all out. No one's stopping you from doing that. But maybe practice using the shortcut so that you can save yourself time. Here, this is 2 groups of 3. So you could totally write it out. It doesn't take that much longer, but be sure to practice the shortcut way so that you can save yourself time. Let me know as you're working if you have any questions. If you don't have any questions, I will be seeing you in class.